Welcome to the Ride This Out podcast, where we talk about how to improve your mental health and strengthen your connection to nature and your community, all through one simple solution: the bicycle. My name is Zach Golding, and I'm a licensed clinical social worker and mental health therapist. I'll be your host as we discuss the power of pedaling. Welcome in to Tune Up Tuesday. My name is Zach. I've been a therapist for over 10 years. These quick little sessions are meant to be quick tips and tools, some questions and reflections to help you better your mental health. This is not intended to replace your own mental health therapy. In fact, this is meant to be an addition, a free resource, a guide, encouragement for you to go to your own therapy. And for best results, ride your bike to the appointment. And on that note, if you live in Utah or know somebody that lives in Utah and is looking into getting into therapy, I am starting my own private practice. So reach out to me. I have a link on my website, ridethisout.com, and I'll get that up and going. I'm getting my office all set up right now. I'm really excited about it. And I will reveal more about that, but the idea is using cycling a lot within the therapy to help with that bilateral stimulation, to help reduce a lot of those nerves. We won't bike every single session, and I recognize and realize that it's not for everybody. So I will also have an office, traditional therapy office with a couch and all that good stuff. I'm really excited about where this is going. So, anyways. Last week, I was asked by Bike Walk Provo, a local bicycle advocacy agency that I've been involved with a little bit here and there. And they wanted me to talk about movement and mental health. And it was a good opportunity for me to reflect on my experiences. When I first started working down in Provo, I live in Orem, so it's about 8 miles away. And as I first started working down in Provo, I would just drive to work every day, just like everyone does. I just jump in my car and go to and from work. A few years goes by, and there was a bus rapid transit, a BRT line that was put in that would go from Utah Valley University down to Brigham Young University, and we kind of go back and forth between Orem and Provo. And it was put in, and it's a free line. It's a free route to take. And that sparked my interest because I'd ridden the bus a little bit when I was first going to college, and I would ride the train up to the University of Utah in Salt Lake. And there was just something about that active transportation, that multimodal use is what they say, and that I loved. And I loved riding the train and just sitting on there and reading my books or studying, getting my homework done. And so when this BRT line came in, I was intrigued, and I thought, oh, well, that'd be fun to try that out a little bit. Excuse me. And so I live about 2 miles away from the nearest section to jump onto that. And so what I did is I bought one of those electric scooters. And so I would jump on the electric scooter and I would ride to the bus, and then I would ride the bus down and then ride my scooter about a mile the rest of the way to my work. And it was so much fun. I loved that. And it kind of opened my eyes to the idea of, well, it's not that much further if I just rode my bike. If I would just pedal, I would just get there about the same amount of time as the bus line, but I would be riding the whole way instead of sitting on a bus. And I loved the bus, but it was just something about being outside and being moving the whole time that really struck my interest. And so I started doing that, and it opened up again that my mind, or the idea of having that option of just being able to bike to and from. And then a couple years ago, I was transferred up to another facility within my work. This time it was on the north side of Utah County, and it was about 11 miles away from my house. And everyone was like, "Oh, you still gonna bike to work? You still gonna ride?" And the amazing thing about where I was at is that it was pretty close off of this dedicated bike path. And so I thought, yeah, like, why not? I'll be able to ride. And that bike path, it's called the Murdoch Canal Trail. It was put in, about probably 10 or 12 years ago. And so, it's fairly new here within the county. But just having that as an option, again, it opened up my mind and the possibilities that I don't just have to drive to and from work all the time, that it gives me the option of riding, of biking or taking the bus. And it got me thinking about, things in our lives where we might feel kind of stuck, where we just only have one option of, I just have to drive, or I just have to take the bus, or I just have to bike. And I recognize and realize as well that that I'm in a position of privilege, that I can choose between different ways to get around, that multimodal way of doing things, that I am not just limited to just one thing. And so, again, I recognize that I have that ability, where a lot of people don't. Maybe they only have one way to get around. But what I love about having multiple different ways of getting around is that you don't have to just be limited by one option. When we are given multiple options, when we recognize the different options that we have in our life, it helps us make different decisions that will help us within our lives. If we feel like there's only one option, if we feel like we're stuck, then we are. But it's good to take a step back. It's good to recognize and realize that we have multiple different options. We don't have to do things just one way. That we can look at things and have our minds open to new possibilities and new ways of getting around. And we can also, so again, think about that on a therapeutic level, on a personal level, is that you can have multiple ways of thinking about one thing. You don't have to just be stuck in one frame of mind or one mindset. It's, again, take a step back, recognize that there are different options, that you have the ability to choose those different options, and it can fluctuate, and you can go back and forth between some of those things. And it's okay. You don't have to do one thing the whole way, the whole time. You can mix things up as long as it's healthy and productive and positive and bringing about good results in your life. There can be multiple different avenues that you take, and that's okay. It's okay to mix things up a little bit and have things new and fresh. It also got me thinking as well that, sometimes when we go to job interviews or, we're looking for new jobs, sometimes they will straight up say, do you have a reliable form of transportation? And it got me thinking, like, well, what if someone doesn't have a reliable form of transport, like a car, right? What if they don't have those things? Then they're automatically excluded from the potential of getting that job. And so being able to create reliable methods of transportation for people, that's not just a car, it can be a bus, it can be a train, it can be good, safe bike infrastructure, so that people can have those options of doing different jobs in different areas in different cities, and not just be limited if they don't have that ability. So anyways, those are just kind of some of the thoughts that I've been thinking about over this last week as I talked with Bike Walk Provo. It was a really cool opportunity, so I want to thank them for that. And it was cool to see some of the people that I interviewed previously on the podcast about talking about how their organization was set up and the great things that they're doing. So, and it was cool for me to kind of reflect and also see some of the other things too. A really cool thing that they did during this meeting is they brought in some college students who were working on their website, doing some nonprofit work for them and helping them out. And that really inspired me to look at the things that I'm doing and that we are doing within our city's agency, and how we can get more people involved like that to donate some of those talents that they have to helping us out, and how how motivated they were and how inspired they were by doing those things too. So again, reaching out and relying on other people's support and strengths, it was a cool lesson for me. So thanks again, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for the support. Appreciate it. And this next upcoming week, we're going to have a good interview that's going to be dropping this Saturday. So get ready for that. And remember, whenever you're going through difficult times or something's going on, you need to think through something, just jump on that bike and tell yourself, I can ride this out.